We are now Camp Horror Corner. So, join us around the campfire to this 2 true stories from Reddit. That is what I have today. My other story, The Girl from the Dream, I will continue perhaps tomorrow. I'm thinking about posting 2 to 4 times a week. I don't know if you want that. And thank you so much for the amazing support you keep showing on my videos. It really means a lot to me. So, let's start off with the first story. It is from Reddit, as I said. Bubble Bus, and it's called The Stalker. I was 16. Me and my friends, I'll call Evan and Jake, wanted to rent a hotel for the night, since it was spring break. We got to the hotel and checked in. They had a really funky smell, but we still stayed there. Once we got to our room, it was about 3 p.m. So we decided to go swimming. The pool was downstairs, departed from the hotel. Once we got to the entrance, there was a man at least 6'3" in all black with a hood covering his face. Facing us, I panicked a little, but not out loud. We got into the pool and swam for a few hours until we saw that man again. All black, sitting on a chair by the pool. I cleared my throat. Can I help you, sir? I asked. No response. I still is a little paranoid. I put my face in the water, and at the bottom of the pool was another figure. It was all black. I screamed like a little girl and ran for the door. I looked back and saw nothing. Not the guy in the chair or the guy under the pool. My friends thought I was just seeing things, but I saw what I saw, as clear as water. I didn't feel like swimming anymore, so I decided to get dinner at a nearby restaurant. I got a table for me and my friends to sit at, and there I saw, once again, the man in all black on the other side of the dining room, and was staring at me. I've had enough. I went over there and I lost track of him, and he took off. After we ate, I decided this trip has gone too far, and we should leave tomorrow morning. But my friends didn't like that idea. Once it was 10:30, me and my friends dozed off in the hotel room. I woke up to some noise. I saw a shadow of a figure at the end of my bed. I calmed myself and told myself that it was my hat that I had put there before I went to bed. I went to bed and got woken up again 30 minutes later to more noises. I was getting thirsty, so I reached under the bed and tried to grab my water bottle. But I grabbed something, and I was totally shocked by what I grabbed. It was my hat. I was not ever more scared in my life. I couldn't help but to scream at the top of my lungs when I heard a voice next to my ear say, "You are a bitch." I jumped out of bed and realized it was 2 men in black. Right there. I tried to fight them, but it was no use. Once they grabbed me and dragged me out of the room. I tried to scream, but the guy was covering my mouth. I passed out and woken up in a stretcher. It turned out those guys knifed me while I passed out, and someone caught them. But the doctor said no one could catch the guys who got me. To this day, I always have a nightlight, so I'm not scared. And the second story is posted by the Stevie Games. It's called My First Sleep Paralysis Story. I don't remember exactly when this was. I'm pretty sure it was around March of 2018. I was 12 years old and in 7th grade. I often listen to read scary stories online about things like sleep paralysis, but I never thought it would happen to me. So before I had woken up, I was having a strange dream. I was playing Counter-Strike, but it felt like I wasn't playing and it was real. I was shooting some targets and then I blacked out for a second. I woke up on the main road that goes into my neighborhood and saw that the road was gone. The houses on the street were very small, 2-story box houses. There were elderly people standing in front of the houses, all reading a newspaper, and the sign at the front of my neighborhood only read Brookend, with the rest crumpling off. I then appeared at my morning bus stop for school looking at my phone. Everything was normal until a bush that normally isn't there screwed at me. I remember clearly feeling as though this was normal, so I screamed back. We went back and forth until I woke up with the scream echoing in my ears. I was in my bed, looking against the wall, unable to move. I hadn't realized that I was experiencing sleep paralysis, but was still freaked out by that screaming to fall back asleep. I lay there, not hearing anything, for about 5 minutes. I then heard what sounded like heavy boots hitting the ground out in my living room, coming toward my bedroom area. Just so you know, outside my bedroom there's a hallway. On the left is a bathroom. At the end is my parents' room, and at the end to the right is a door that goes to my living room. The footsteps grew closer, coming to the hallway, and then my parents' room. At the moment, I remember my dad was out of town on a business trip, so my mom, who is a nice small lady, was defenseless. I heard the walking start up again and come towards my room. The door opened and whatever was out there came in, walked to the side of my bed and stared at me. I closed my eyes and began to pray. I'm not really religious, but it's the only thing I can think to do. After what felt like hours, I tried to turn over to look and see if anyone is there. I rolled with my eyes still closed to appear to anyone that is there that I'm still asleep. I opened my eyes and began to squint. The coast is clear. I crawl out of my bed slowly and look at the clock. 4 a.m. 4:14 a.m. Dang, I got school tomorrow, I thought. I tiptoed over to my door and grabbed a decorative oar my mom put on the wall in my room and walked out into the hallway. The light in my living room door was open with light on, which was not normal, especially when my dad's out of town. I checked the bathroom and peeked around the corner to the door. Nobody. So I make a silent sprint into my mom's room, putting the oar down on the floor. I shake her awake, quietly whispering her name. Mama, I think there's someone in the house. I heard walking around outside my room and I began to tear up, realizing this all may have been in my head, and I woke my mom up for nothing. It's alright. We can go check the house real quick. I grab the oar and go check the house with my mother. There was nobody in our house, so I go back to bed, relieved that we were safe and that none of that was real. I haven't had a sleep paralysis experience since, and I'm glad it wasn't worse. This story seems like nothing compared to some of the other stories about it that I heard. I hope you enjoy reading this. And that was it for today, my fellow horror fam. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe and comment what you think. And I am sorry if I made a few wrong speeches here and there. I hope I didn't ruin your day or your night. Well, if you want more horror stories, then come back tomorrow to the campfire. To some more scary stories. Until then, take care and good night.